Hey guys, it's me and we are here with another video. This time, it is about if you should buy the AH-64A Apache Peten. Now, of course, this is the US premium Apache attack helicopter. If you take a look here, it's right here. It's a rank 6. We're gonna take a look at it in a second here. However, I do want to say one thing. In the description, there is a link below of my Discord, so if you guys want to check that out, if you have any questions or you just want to say something or talk to other people, you can go there. Also, if you go there, I can help you and give you the link to that Minecraft server. In one of my past actually live streams, I played Minecraft on a certain server, so if you guys want to take a look at that server, just go on it or whatever. You can also go to my Discord and I'll set you up with the stuff you need to join, which I believe is just the server name, maybe like a map. But yeah, there's the Dynamap or whatever you call it. And yeah, anyway, so this is the premium Apache, and maybe it doesn't look too special. I think it looks pretty special. But the thing that makes the Apache awesome is, well, not these Hydras, definitely. It's what it gets. First, we're going to take a look at some of the armaments here. So, well, one of the biggest things here, I believe, about this are the Hellfires. If you don't know what Hellfires are, let's pull them up right here. Hellfires are, of course, missiles on the Apache attack helicopter, which is, it's really effective. Alright, let's take a look here. If you take a look here, it's it's laser guided, but it's at a really good speed compared to maybe other missiles. Its mass is pretty good. And look at the penetration though. This thing will probably almost pen anywhere on the tank unless it hits a Leopard maybe on the wrong angle. Like, this thing is most likely gonna go straight through, and it does a lot of damage. Actually, we can test it out here in a second, but I think that's the biggest thing about the Apache. As you can see here, they're pretty cool looking too. And another thing I think that's really good about this is, yeah, it's laser guided, so you can lock onto things. Let's test it here. You can lock onto things, shoot, and then not even have to touch your keyboard for 30 seconds until it hits. There is another thing that I like about the Apache, but first let's use the Hellfires here. As you can see, I'm not touching anything now. I'm just gonna let it go in. And just like that, it's hit the enemy vehicle. I kind of got unlucky with the hit. I mean, I got the cannon barrel. I guess that's good, but I didn't get to destroy the tank because the cannon barrel was in the way. But it's pretty effective, especially with 16. That's another good thing about Hellfires on this. You can get quite a few. Even if you take 8, that's a lot to destroy vehicles, as you can see. Another thing that I like about this is the capability, or what the 30 mils can do. Now, the 30 mils, for example, they're good for killing air targets. If you've seen some of my past streams when I play this, it's really good, I believe, against maybe AA guns, of course, like for example like that, but it's really good also against locking on to enemy air vehicles that are coming towards you when they're about like maybe 1.5 kilometers away. You can just spray at them and you'll get them because they probably, they don't see a anti-air missile going at them, so they don't expect to get destroyed. As an example though, you won't really be able to do too much to tanks with these, with the 30 mil. I mean, you could try. You can go straight above it and probably do some damage, some fair damage, but other than that, like that. I got really lucky, I think I hit his ammunition, but the 30 mil is pretty awesome. There is one more thing, though, that makes the Apache attack helicopter pretty special, and that is its capabilities, you know, of course, Hellfires and the 30 mil, but also the capability to hold 4 anti-air missiles. It's not the greatest anti-air missiles, but they're pretty effective, I believe, because, I mean, of course, frontal lock, you can get lock on really anywhere, but you can not just shoot at tanks with your Hellfires and your 30 mil, you could defend yourself in the air against, well, maybe even other helicopters and planes. For example, here we got a MiG-15 4 kilometers away. I should be able to lock onto it in a second here. And just like that, I fired a missile, and it's kind of accurate. As you can see there, he didn't turn because it's the AI, so of course I got him, but the missile's pretty decent. I mean, it could definitely be better, but it's pretty decent. Especially that you can basically lock on anywhere. So that's a big takeaway. Another thing that makes this special is it has flares. Flares really helped us out here. You've also got the RCM. I'm not really going to talk too much about that. It, of course, helps against missiles that locks onto you. But the flares on this are pretty good because even with the, you know, RCM, it shows you can't have, you see? Yeah, you can't have the RCM if you activate the flares or install, quote unquote install, but you can still actually use the flares, which is funny. Like, hold on, I'm gonna test flight here, and then you guys will see that I'll still be able to fire flares. It's kind of like a system, I believe, maybe with flares. You see, there you go. Here's the flares. But these flares will protect you. Now, you gotta shoot them more constantly if there's a missile coming at you. You can't really just do it once. I mean, it might help, it might actually help, but if it's a really good missile, for example, an AIM-9J, or even like maybe like a Ka-50 shoots an anti-air missile, you're probably going to want to shoot a few to try and direct it away. This is a pretty fast helicopter. It's very maneuverable, I believe. As you can see here, I mean, even like the fuel load, of course, on helicopters it can affect how they maneuver, but with the Apache it's an attack helicopter. I believe it's really just always almost maneuverable. So, for example, here, we're gonna go into a test flight, and you get up in the air pretty fast. I mean, hold on. I mean, look at that. That's pretty fast because a lot of the earlier starting helicopters in the game, it takes quite a bit to get them to take off. It's very maneuverable. Like, let's turn here, and I definitely think this is a if you compare it to the Ka-50, I believe the Apache is a bit more maneuverable. The Apache, it's not as strong as the Ka-50, but it's definitely sneaky, maneuverable, and a bit smaller, which I believe is kind of a plus, because with the Ka-50 it's a big target. With this, it's a bit smaller target. Which I really do love the Apache, though. It's really nice, you know, in real life. So, I believe it's pretty maneuverable compared to the Ka-50. Now, there is a thing, though. I believe the Apache, well, at least it says it's a bit slower. I personally believe that the Apache, however, is more effective in terms of speed. I mean, it's not as big and chunky as the COF-50. There's all those factors, but the Apache is just really good at maneuvering. Its height capabilities, of course, a lot of helicopters, if you go too high, they're not gonna do too well in terms of maybe like maneuvering and that type of stuff. But the Apache, it doesn't really need in this game to go high. It doesn't really need to. I mean, a lot of helicopters, if you do go high, I mean, I guess you could go high sometimes, but a lot of helicopters, say for example the COF-50 or the Apache, if you go too high, you'll get shot down by an anti-air missile, or it makes it easier for an anti-air missile to shoot at you. So it's always good to keep that in mind. Another thing also to look at here is this is a premium attack helicopter. It gives you some premium, it's a bundle. I mean, it gives you some premium days. It gives you, I believe, a decal. I don't know if it still does, but I got this Cobra decal from it. And I mean, overall, this is a really good grinder in terms of research points and even silver lions. So I wasn't really like I wasn't really going too much through the helicopter US tree until I got this. I went straight through. As you can see here, I'm already researching this now. Of course, lately I haven't been playing this Apache because I've been either playing Germany or Minecraft. Also, let's take a look at the armor here. It's not too much armored up. I mean, it's nothing like COF-50 level, but that's the thing about this is it's not as thick in terms of armor, or it's not as bulky as the COF-50, but it definitely pays off in terms of maneuverability. There is one thing, however, about the Apache that kind of like the COF-50, you know, COF-50 does some things better. For example, the COF-50 can, with its ATGMs, it can shoot down planes and helicopters not pretty easily, but it's really good at shooting helicopters and planes down with its ATGMs. You can do that. I mean, you might have to adjust the aim a little bit when you do the laser lock on, but you can destroy, you know, aerial vehicles with it, where the Apache, it's really hard to, unless like there's a vehicle, there's a like aerial vehicle, like maybe a helicopter, probably actually most likely a helicopter, standing still in the air, you know, it's on hover mode, it's just sitting in there, then the Hellfires will probably hit. But if you got a helicopter moving around, or a plane moving around, and not on the ground, then you're gonna have a really troubled time trying to kill things, or those type of things, and you probably won't even be able to. Maybe a 1 in a 100th chance, I believe. You still got these anti-air missiles, which I think are still good, and it pays off. Another thing to look at is, this is basically, these two right here are basically almost the same thing. One is spaded and one isn't at first, you know. And I think some of the anti-air missiles might be different. No, I think they're the same. Anyway, this Apache though is also a 10.0, so there's actually a chance you won't get top tier if you don't bring a 10.3 lineup like I am right now. But however, it still does really well at top tier, so no worries. You won't have to worry too much, because I mean this thing's great. It's of course got 2 engines here. There's this 30 mil This can, alright, so if you hit the ground, or so for example someone just gets lucky with a shot or something, your flexible turret, you know, your 30 mil can be taken out of action. Another thing to look at is if your gunner dies, I'm pretty sure you can't. You definitely can't fire the 30 mil, but I'm pretty sure you can't shoot the Hellfires. I can't exactly remember. I know with the pilot though, you could still shoot the anti-air weapons, or you know, missiles. So at least there's still that. And another good thing is this also rewards you a lot. If you take a look in this card down here, the rewards 696% for research and 810% for Silverline, so that is really good in terms of grinding. Then again, it's a premium vehicle, so so it's expected. It's also basically almost a top tier premium, so it makes sense. Another thing to look at is the repair cost. The repair cost is absolutely great. I mean, 1,300 realistic. Then let's take it real quick here to arcade. Actually, I forgot. There's no helicopters in arcade. But anyway, I mean, the repair cost on the Apache is really good. I don't know about simulator battles. Maybe simulator battles might be, yeah, basically the same. It doesn't really matter. It can, of course, you don't really have to worry about this with helicopters, but it's max vehicle efficiency, research efficiency is from rank 1 to rank 7. So you'll be able to really research anything here. Now, of course, it's in the middle, so it doesn't really matter. But maybe in the future to come, if there's rank 8 helicopters, if that becomes a thing, it probably won't be able to do it. Yeah, but it'll still open the gate for you to get to there. And it also, let me just say this, it definitely helps with the horrible helicopter grind that comes ahead. It definitely helps. I mean, this opens the door for the AH-64D like really fast, and this thing is, however, better than the this Apache, the premium one. I don't know why this isn't a 10.3, but it should be. It can carry 16 Hellfires and 4 Stingers, I'm pretty sure. Or 2. I'm pretty sure there's 4 though. So, you know, that's a really good thing that you want. I don't know how the AH-1Z is, but I definitely know it's worth, if you get this, it's definitely worth getting the AH-64D. I've seen it in action. I haven't really, you know, I don't have it, so I can't really say too much about it, but it looks pretty sick. So if you guys want to grind helicopters, this is definitely for you. You know, US helicopters. This is definitely for you. Another thing here to look at with this helicopter is helicopter battles right over here. And I say I haven't really played too much helicopter battles with this, but you're still gonna kind of have a troubled time because CAW 50s. However, if you use this right and you get into a good position, you'll be able to, with the Hellfires, take out some of the vehicles on the ground, and that'll get you a good amount of points, a really good amount of points. And if you get close enough to the CAW 50, which you should be able to, because you're very maneuverable in this, you should, so even like 7 kilometers away. I mean, if you get its rear, 4.5 if you can't get its rear, it'll, you know, you'll be able to shoot the missile and hopefully it'll hit. Like I said, they're not the best, but they're pretty efficient, and if you get even closer, you can use your 30 mil, which I personally believe is the 30 mil is better than the Russian one. I could be wrong. I know the Russian one does more pen, but I believe the Apache, as you can see here, the Russian one, I think it shoots a lot slower, but with the Apache, like, hold on, let's test flight this for a second. If you see the Apache 30 mil, just look how fast this shoots. It also has a lot of ammo, where if you take a look here at the KA-50, I'm comparing this with the KA-50 because the KA-50, I guess, is kind of similar to it. They're both 10.0s. They both rank 6. And they're kind of, if you think about it, it's kind of rivalry. Alright, here we go. Here's this 30 mil. Actually, it is, I didn't even realize how fast this kind of is. But I believe the Apache one is more efficient. It's got more ammo. I believe it fares better against aerial vehicles too. Now, a big difference is the KA-50 has 2 rotors. You know, at the top, and it doesn't need the back one. However, if you take a look at the Apache, of course, you've got one right here, and you got this back one over here. Another thing to take a look at is the lineups you can do with these nations, and as you can see here, I've got this solid US lineup, and I'm pretty sure this is definitely better compared to the Russian one, because with the US you got 4 Abrams, and with the Russians you still got a T-80U and a T-80B, but you see it's definitely not as solid as 4 Abrams. And then especially like with aviation, you still got these MiGs, which are pretty good, but Rolling Thunder definitely fares better against the MiG-21 CAS. Definitely, anytime. So it's always good to take a look at the lineup that can come with it. The US one would definitely be better. It would definitely be better. I mean, like, if you take a look here, look how many bombs you could bring. You could bring Zunis, all these great things. It's got the ballistic computer, which can help you with those Zunis, which makes them even powerful. You've got, I think the ballistic computer also helps with bombing, which is really good. You can bomb people pretty accurately. Completely out of the game. Another small thing you can also look is you can, if you get the mark of distinction, put 4 decals on this, as you can see here. Also, another thing to definitely look at about the Hellfires are they can shoot 8 kilometers away. If you're one of those people who just sit back and shoot Hellfires. Now, I don't usually do that. I'm not that type of guy, but if you're definitely that type of guy who sits in the back and shoots, I'm not saying you should, but you can go back 8 kilometers away and fire missiles at enemies. Alright guys, this is kind of the conclusion of taking a look at the Apache attack helicopter. I believe it is a really decent helicopter. It's a really good helicopter. However, I think you can argue that the KA-50 might be better. However, if you guys have the money to and you really want to have fun, I suggest getting this helicopter. You know, you really want to have fun with helicopters, or specifically US helicopters. Or if you want to grind down the US helicopter tree and you have the money to, I also suggest getting this. However, if you guys are kind of on the fence, you don't know if you want to get this or not, you know, if you're like, you might think, well, this might be fun, or this might not be. I definitely think that you shouldn't probably get it if you're on the fence, and especially the fact that like this cost $60, I believe, or yeah, I'm pretty sure it costs $60. And if you're doubting it, or you don't want to get in general, but you hear me say, oh, it's a great helicopter, you should get it, right? And then you waste your money on it, and then you don't like it. Pretty much, if you want to have fun with a helicopter, I suggest this. If you want to grind down the US helicopter tree, I suggest this. Other than that, I think you guys don't really need this helicopter, and I will say it's kind of determines that, is it worth buying? Yes and no. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next video. The next video I do will be actually gameplay of the AH-64A Apache Peten. How about that? So you guys can have some more gameplay and see some more fun. And then after that, I think I'm done with the Apache for a while. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this. Support the channel and show that you guys want to see more. Also, comment on my video if you want to see anything different, or just how awesome my videos are. And my Discord is in the description below. You can see the link. If you guys want to join that, you can. Anyway, guys, hoorah!